Alright, welcome to the video. Today we shall be looking at our laboratory information system, or you can call it a laboratory information software, basically designed for the management of investigations, or you can call it tests, the management of patients, the management of results, and also your inventory as well. So remember, all of our softwares are online based, and so everybody has a username and a password. So first I will log in with this user. This user is an admin, mind you. So I'll log in with this user. So he has most of the functionalities. So let's log in. So now basically, as an admin, this is how your admin dashboard will look like. Where we have our daily revenue, which shows you revenue you're getting every day as the day goes by. Now the next is our dispensed item cost. You know, for every investigation you do, there are items that are used for that investigation. When I say investigation, I'm also talking about tests. Some people do call it investigation, some call it tests, but I'll be using investigations more often here. So for every investigation you do, there are items that are disposable items, that we call it consumables, that are used for these investigations. So there's a menu you can use to dispense these items. So for every item you dispense, there's a cost registered on it. So the system also gives you the cost of dispensed item on a daily basis, your daily expense as well that you make from the business, whether you purchase maybe, I'm not talking about your normal purchase of your consumables. Let's say maybe you make expense like electricity bill, utility bills, or probably if you want to add salaries to it, these expenses are calculated on a daily basis, and by default it also gives you your net profit based on these three parameters here: your expense, your cost, and your daily revenue. Going down here, we see we have our daily encounters, where we have your daily transactions on a day-to-day basis. So you see the last transaction here was 24th of February. We had one patient, and this was the revenue generated. You also have your monthly encounter, so you see how much you are generating on a monthly basis, right? So you can compare each month to see how far you've gone, how well you've performed on each month. So this is just a graph plotted on the revenue against each month. So this is just the dashboard showing you how it works. So basically at the top here, this is a notification icon where we have your items that will soon expire. For example, here you see there's no item here. Then the next one, we have items that have expired. In this case, we're talking about your consumables, like your syringes, your urine bags, and so on and so forth. So these items that you use. So it shows you the expiration, and also we have items that have reached reorder level. In this case here, now there's a reorder level set for every item. So here it shows you all the items that have reached reorder level. Reorder level means the level of quantity it will get to before it tells you it will soon run out of stock. That's what we mean by reached reorder level. Then we have out of stock. You don't have it anymore. So that's what that means. So going down on the left, we have our admin menu on the left, which contains some major menu like adding users to access the software. So you can add user. Before you add the user, you need to create them as a staff. So we have our human resources menu where you create your staffs. So if I click on staff list, now you see the staffs that I currently have. You can view them to check most of their information, their next of kin and everything. This is basically for the human resource officer. Whatever you want to do with that information, you can edit the information of your staff. So if you've created, before you add the user, it's important you ought to create them as a staff first. So only staffs can have access. So you cannot just go and create a user. So if you create a user, enter all the parameters. You put in their title, gender, their religion, staff ID if it's available, select staff group if it's a core staff or contract staff, set their category, junior, senior, management staff, select their designation. It's a lab scientist, basically for lab, you can do that. Now we have for the discipline, if it's just a pharmacy, a scientist, and so on. Now basically this is off from our hospital software. This is where we pick this up from. So we're presenting to you just the laboratory management side of it. So you can select your bank, but eventually you want us to include a payroll on it and all that, then we'll look at that. So after creating these staffs, then you can come back to admin to add the users by putting in the name which you created for them. So for example, you put in the name of the person, you select the name, then you enter the username you want them to use to log in into the system, right? Let's say I use this. So you select the role. So in here, they can be a front desk officer, inventory officer, or a lab scientist. The role you select determines how their dashboard will look like and what they can access, right? So you can select, let's say if I select this person as a front desk officer, simply means that you can only do the job of a front desk officer to give them. You see, I've already created an account for this person. So you can disable a user, you can activate a user, you can also reset their password. Peradventure they forgot their password. So you can also add items here. So basically, to add an item could be your investigations or your consumables. They are regarded as items, right? So for investigations, you select the category. If the category is not there, you can go and add the category there, right? So like we have microbiology, parasitology, or biochemistry, and all of that. So you select it and put in the name of that item. Maybe it's an investigation, you put in the name, let's say malaria parasite, for example. You created this. You see malaria, we've already created these items. So if it's consumables, you have to select consumables, right? So you create the name, select the name of this consumable, like hand gloves and all of that. You create that. Now going further, let's not waste much time here. There are other things on the admin menu, like you can modify the name of an item. You can also change the categories of your item. Maybe you made a mistake while creating them. Okay, now you can also give and remove rights to users. Users you create, you can give them rights. All these things, all this menu you have here, it's not only the admins are expected to have all of this. However, you can delete and add right to a specific user. You can select a user and add right to that particular user. So you see these are the functions that this person has here, right? So you can delete and also add. For example, I want to add the laboratory menu to this person. I select laboratory and I can then select whatever I want to give to that particular person. Okay, now you can, like I said, you can delete and you can also add, right? Now you can also add the rows, different rows. No, we've already added some default rows, but if you feel those rows there are not enough, you can add them. Then this system manages two major types of pricing. Well, we have pricing by sponsors and private patients. Okay, private patients, they pay by themselves, while sponsors, people pay for them. So we have ad sponsor. So you can select your sponsor. If it's a corporate insurance, NHIS, family, put in their sponsor name, and then you can put in the tariffs. Right. If you go down, we have the tariff menu. This is where you manage the prices of all your investigations. Right. If I click on investigation price list now, you see we have private and we have HMO or corporate. If I click on private, you show you all the private investigation. But most people that don't really deal with HMOs and this, there's no problem. So you see the price there. So how do you add price? You can edit the tariff by clicking on edit tariff. Click on private, then put in the price, the item you want to edit. Let's say malaria parasite. You click on it, it shows you the previous price. Then you can edit the price if you want to edit it, right? Return. Okay, to add price, just click on add new tariff, click on private if it's private, and put in the item and put in the price. For corporate, likewise, you select the corporate name, put the name of the corporate, let's say AXA Mansard, for example. Click on it, you see the list of tariff. There's none, put in the name of the item, let's say malaria, for example. Click, so you put in the agreed amount, let's say 3,000 naira. Is that 3,000 or 30,000? So you save, right? That's how you enter your tariff. Then going forward now, let's now look at how the laboratory menu actually works. Now it all starts from the front desk, right? Now from the front desk where we have new registration. So when a new client comes in, you go to new registration. But if it's an existing patient, you don't need to go to new registration. The front desk officer can either click on existing patient or click on this pencil at the top there, right? So for an existing patient, you just click on existing patient and type in the name of the patient. Let's say, for example, we have let's say Abraham. If there's no Abraham, let's say John, for example. I don't know if there's any John. Okay, let's see if we have a Godwin here. Okay, we have August Godwin. You click on it, it displays the patient information, displays their last visit, their various things. At the bottom, you can start adding what the service the person requires. Let's say he wants to do urinalysis. You select. You see, there's no price for this because this person is a corporate patient, so you need to set the price for that particular item. So let's say let's go to report. Let's see if there's any patient we've created before, or let's create a new page. Let's go a new registration. New registration. Select the title. Let's say Mr. Gender male. The last name. Let's say Jerry. Other names James. Date of birth. Let's say 12/12/1998. So system automatically calculates the age. Marital status, let's say single. Religion, Christian. Occupation, let's say others there. So you put in the phone number, let's say 09012345676, for example. Put in the address, let's say 1 address way. Email address, this is important. The phone numbers and email address are very important because your system allows you to send results to these patients as well. So it's important you put in these details. If they don't have, it's okay, you can put new. So let's say, for example, Jerry James at mail.com. So next of kin, we put in the name of the next of kin. Let me just put something there. Next of kin relationship, next of kin address, blah blah blah, next of kin phone number. Not really important. So you select the patient category. Is it private or is it corporate? So let's say this patient is a private patient. And in here you see you can just register this patient and it goes. Nothing happens. Or if this patient wants to access service, maybe he wants to do a particular package, you can click on access service, then you start entering the packages or the investigations he wants to do. For example, let's say he's doing urinalysis. You see 12,000 naira, I click on it. Let's say still doing other tests as well. Let's say malaria parasite, right? You see, as you add it, it will be updated. You see, the total due is 18,000 naira. So once you are done, you just register. So as you registered, there are two things you can do. If you want to add a photo of the patient, if you want to add a photo, you can add. If you want to, if you don't want to add a photo, you can close if you don't want to, right? Or you can then proceed to making payments. You see, you can proceed to make payments. Still on the front desk menu, you see this is not the job of the front desk officer. You just click on post payments. You see the users, patients that are waiting payments, their age, and every system or generates a visit number for them, generates a unique patient number for them as well, right? So you can click on view to view the patient, what the patient is paying for. You see, it's paying for urinalysis, malaria parasite. You can remove if the patient say he cannot afford it. You can remove it from here by deleting. If the person is paying total is 18,000, select the payment method. Is it paying cash, POS, transfer? How is it paying? Let's say it's using cash. I select that. So how much is it paying? So the system allows for patients to make part payment. So if he doesn't want to pay the full payment, make the full payment, you can put part payment. There must be a payment before the thing can fly. So let's say it's paying in full 18,000 post payment. Then you can print receipt to this patient and say, okay, this is your receipt of payment, right? Now at this point now, the phlebotomist will be expecting someone to come, right? So we go to the laboratory menu. The first point of call there is the sample collection. So when I click on sample collection, you see list of awaiting sample collection, right? See list of patients that are awaiting sample collections, right? Okay, so you see the one we just did, right? You can search for the name of the patient. If you can't find this here, you see it's Jerry James. 2 investigations. You click on view. Now it shows you urinalysis. Select the sample type. Let's say it's blood. Click on blood. Or is urinalysis actually blood? Urinalysis is urine. So I select urine. Okay. Sample collected for that. So I can also collect sample for the next one. You can also print a label. You see there's a label here. You can print a label for that person's investigation. So you see the system generates a unique label for them, so you can label all of that. So you can print it, and just once you collect the samples, after collecting the samples, you can label them with that unique label, the patient's visit number, so you don't mix it up. Okay, all right. So now we've collected the sample. The next step now is for the result, is for the scientist to go do his own process after using the samples to do whatever I want to do. The next point of call is to post your lab result. But before you post your lab result, there are certain things you ought to do. Like maybe by default, we already expect that there is a template for different type of results. So you can create your template for each result. Here, right now, we've created some templates here. But if you want to create your own template, there's a menu where you create a template for a test. So if for example, I can create a template. Yes, I want to create a template for PCV. Just click on it. You see, if there's an existing template for it, then you can add more templates. So the system has a way of checking for different templates based on two criteria, and that based on the gender and the age. There are templates that are gender based, there are templates that are age based, right? So this one is for all gender. You can edit it if you want to edit it. See, this is how the template looks like. You can edit it, add more value. If you don't want to, you return, or you can create a new template. So there are two types of template we have. We have a normal template where you have your text input, right? So maybe there are some samples, there are some investigation templates where you have just default templates, just like that. While there are some, it has to do with values, that has parameters and units. So you can put in the parameters, put in the units, select the operator if it's a range, is greater than or equal to, for example. You can put any of this and add, right? So but let's post our result. That's what we are concerned about. So you click on post lab results. Once you click on post lab results, you can then see we have two results that are pending here. We click on view. So the first one is your analysis. I click on this. Once I click on it, you see this is the default template for your analysis that we have created. So this template now, we see what we have here. So you can put in the results you got from your machines. So for example, appearance, I can say yellow, I can say appearance pale, appearance is pale, color yellow, specific gravity. I can just put in any values there just to save time. Put in all of the values I want to put there. Let's say I'm done with everything, then I can just post my results. So once I've posted my result, I can view to be sure of what I posted. If I'm not sure, I can recall that result. So in here, so the system allows for what we call validation of result. There are some persons, if you want to validate the result before you send. So if you go to the lab menu, you see where we have validate result. So you can validate a result. You see here, Jerry James. Once I click on validate, it means someone else is viewing the result to be sure that what this person actually entered is correct. If it's not correct, you can recall the result. Recalling means you're taking it back. If it's correct, you validate. So you can, once you have validated, so now there's a stamp to show that that result has been validated. I can go back to view result. Then let's say Jerry James. Click on it. You see there's one investigation. Remember, you see has one pending investigation, right? So you see everything here. Go down, you see we have validated by the person who validated it. So you can print the result directly to the patient and give to the patient on your machine, right? You can print, give to the patient, or you can send via WhatsApp. If you have WhatsApp installed, you can send, or you can also send to the person via mail. You can send it to the person via mail as well. So if the person has multiple tests, you see there's still one more here. I can click on it, click and put in malaria. See, this is the template for malaria. It's different. I can say 2+. If I want to add any other thing here, I can add. Then I post my result. Right. So if you view now, all the results will now be attached together. You see the first one, and this is the second one. All of them are attached. So you can print and give to the person or send. So that's basically the laboratory menu. So other things that you can also see here, we have our financial reports. We have your revenue report that shows you your revenue on a daily basis. We also have your profit and loss statement, shows you your profit that you have made. So you can also post your expense here under the financial management. You see where we can post your expenses. You can also pay debt for those that are owing you. You can fund the wallet of your patient so they can pay from their wallet and all of that. Okay, so and that's basically it. So for more details and more information, you can always contact us. So we'll give you also a live demo and show you everything about the software. There's more to it. We can also customize it to suit you the way you want it as well. So thank you very much. Do have a nice day.